It's rigged.
It's rigged. It is totally rigged, but they can just change the bid and everything will crumble. This is genuinely a conspiracy. It's fueled by Powell himself.
Tim, where do you think gold and silver spot prices will be after 4 more years of Donald Trump and his policies? Buy your precious metals online from SD Bullion. New customers get gold and silver at spot by visiting sdbullion.com/new. Silver is down, gold is down.
Yes.
Is this the pullback that you have been talking about and warning about?
Yes, it is.
Is this it?
It is, yes. Keep in mind, we had an all-time high, and there was an increase in the short activity. But then the next day was another, or 2 days later was another all-time high, and then another one.
Yeah.
Went all the way up to, 2474, I think was the high. Mm-hmm. But the shorts will take over. There's no question in my mind the shorts will take over.
Is this what we're going to be seeing more and more of for the next 3-4 months?
I'm afraid we will see a lot more of that. There will probably be a rate, a small cut in the rate in September. It's purely political. I don't think Jerome Powell wants to do it. I think they're going to twist his arm until it cracks. And they'll lower the rate once in September.
Yep.
And then they'll say, well, wait till after the election. We'll probably put it back.
Put it back?
Put it back. Yeah, if they take a quarter point, they're probably going to go get it back. This is genuinely a conspiracy. It's fueled by Powell himself and Democratic politicians. They want to see a rate decrease because they're desperate.
But it will affect metals.
It will. No, it's not going to even have a big effect on the metals. The metals are
You think it's already factored in?
All hedge funds in the metals.
Wow.
They can say what they want about, China's not going to buy any more gold for the next 2 months. Baloney. China doesn't even have an effect on the metals. It's the huge amount of money that's available in the New York financial community. And people don't understand. It's a handful of big firms have more money under management than our entire debt. The mathematics of that equation do not work out. There's no way that can possibly be, but it is. Okay, there's no restriction. There are no restraints, and on the number of hedge funds. You can start a hedge fund tomorrow, and you probably make a lot of money doing it. If you
Yankee hedge fund,
Yankee hedge fund, you got to have a few bucks to do it, and you got to find somebody to buy your product. But it's taken over the entire financial world, for example.
it's rigged.
It's rigged. It is totally rigged. But, the COMEX still has the absolute right to control the price of silver. All they have to do, and they can just change the bid and everything will crumble. There's too much paper silver out there. It has no relationship to reality. And, so maybe there are 1 million metric tons out there, which there aren't. If you added up all the silver that's being shorted, it's probably 1 million metric tons. It's just, the numbers are out of sight everywhere, absolutely out of sight. When Warren Buffett bought 130 million ounces of silver because Kodak had sold off all their silver processes. Mm-hmm. So, and they used to consume 130 million ounces a year. Mm-hmm. So Buffett stepped in and he bought 130 million ounces a year, or that year, back in the mid-90s, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And it was a great boost to silver. Got it up to around $5, and the next week it dropped back to where it was. Had no effect. And, Warren Buffett isn't going to be able to affect these markets. People will certainly follow what he does, right. But he's got billions to throw around, but the hedge funds have trillions to throw around. Trillions.
Tim, where do you think gold and silver spot prices will be after 4 more years of Donald Trump and his policies?
Probably where they are.
Where they are now?
I think inflation will probably take gold up to 2,500. But I was reading an article maybe 2 or 3 days ago that said, okay, the dynamics are in place for gold to go back to 2,300. And I firmly believe that. Immediately, is it going to go back to 23? No, I think it'll go back to 23 plus. It'll go back to where it was before this latest increase. I think it'll fall below 24. I'm not expecting it to go much below that. But there are a lot of people in the financial community in New York who think that it's going back to 23 even. And, you look at the amount of inflation that we still have and the fact that Trump will stop it, okay, because he'll reactivate all the things that bring down inflation, like the petroleum industry. And but it doesn't change where we are now. Those prices are not going backwards.
And silver?
Silver really should have already hit 40. It's just that it is controlled. And there's got to be a reason for them to let it go. A lot of these uses, industrial uses of silver are starting to dissipate because there are always alternatives. And, look at the flat screen TVs as a good example. The first one was a gas plasma. Okay, the plasma TVs.
Plasma TV, yeah.
And it was a great concept until people figured out, we can make LEDs this small and we can put 1 million of them on a screen, make a great big screen out of them. And everybody said, now, how are you going to do that? Well, right now we got a machine that's making this many, every time you push a button, and all we have to do is program it to make this many every time you push a button, and pretty soon you'll be able to have a great big screen of little LEDs. Where's the plasma television now?
Gone.
It's gone.
You're saying silver's going to be gone?
I think
In
the
industry?
silver is not.
In industry?
It's not necessary in so many places. There are lots of alternatives. The industrial use of silver has stagnated.
Okay.
Okay, it's not growing. It's not shrinking.
Right.
I think there are going to be replacements, and it'd be the same thing as we have in a television screen will be available in a solar panel.
What about investment demand? Over the next 4 years, you don't see that changing?
Investment demand. Well, investment demand is controlled. All you have to do is put AI next to your name. You could be Yankee AI, and you'll have thousands of investors.
What about it as a monetary metal once again?
Yeah, that's definitely going to happen. It always has been, and that will continue.
And that would have a serious effect on the value of
Well, that depends.
silver. No?
If Trump is able to get the economy growing again, people will forget all about all the bad things that are causing them to buy gold and silver right now.
Wow. So that leads me to my last question. What should our strategy as stackers be? Should it change in light of a potential Trump administration?
We're in a unique position to take advantage on a drop in silver. We also are in a unique position to take advantage of a drop in gold. And that's what people should be doing. What you don't want to do is tie your money up in a bank, take it out of the watchful eye of the IRS. Investing it is not a bad idea. If you're investing in stocks, make sure you're investing in good companies and not fly-by-nights and not the latest boutique stock that everybody wants to buy. I still am a little leery of investing a whole lot of money in crypto because that's
Good.
thin air.
Yep.
And there may come a collapse in crypto. And it's when every government in the world is able to control it. That's when it collapses.
When it becomes a true threat to their hegemony in currency. And they have their own digital currency, and they don't want private currency on a blockchain.
Yes.
They want the control of it. Yeah. And you do think a Trump administration is likely this year, right? We're going to see it in November.
Boy, I tell you, I don't see any other choice. Okay?
But do you see it likely?
That Trump gets elected?
Yeah.
I think it's very likely. As long as we get really good people in the Secret Service and fire the woman who's in charge now and get all the DEI hires out of everywhere in the government,